More power! Oh, hello. Welcome to the stream, everybody. My jaw got a little spring-loaded there. It's Sunday, January the 21st of the year 2024. Have you got it in ya to watch the politics of boxes? Trust in you. Believe me. It's almost time. He's almost here. I've got to continue my role. Just a little longer. My fellow denizens, my fellow denizens of the year 2024. Hello for the first time. I meant to have streamed like 2 or 3 times. The thumbnail for this stream had the date January 11 in it when I made it, and then got a little busy. But you know, not for the worst of reasons. How's it going, everyone? I see so many friends here in the window. I'm going to just come back and say hello to Timu Kananen and Ben Walters. If you're still here, Samuel Bell, I'm not sure you had to go. Hawk, General Techno, Carnage, Dorf's Quest, the TF Reviewer, Lorcan Nagel, Zimman 2, Ultra V, Long River Valley. Oh my god, I'm on fire! x.x/twitter.com user, youtube.com/ that toy guy, apple slices. It's doable. Chris Muse, hello. But yeah, Hawk, I would love. I got to figure out how to get a hobby stream going again in a way that I'm comfortable with. Because doing it on my phone is doable, but then like I can barely see what's going on, let alone like interact with someone else. And this space ain't a great filming space for painting right now, so I'm not sure what to do. But yeah, like a couple of years ago during lockdowns, I had the idea of like slice up these apples and say we should do a hangout hobby stream, and then like it's a lot easier to say you're going to do something than to actually do something. Sam here for another 5 minutes. Hell yeah. That toy guy, no apple slices, 0 out of 10 stream. I was literally just slicing the apples. Is it not fast enough? Yeah, Chris Carnage, what's up? I also saw you saying you want to mess with some stream, and you should mess with some stream. I think it's pretty fun. You gotta have an enjoyment for the vibe of it. And yeah, General Techno it sounds like Techno. You're doing a toy rip open some stuff stream later today. I think Techno streams over on Twitch, which I have not gotten into doing yet with the new era of being able to do it in both places. Chris Muse, I'm julienning celery. Damn. Turned my second phone into a touch portal remote this month. I've been looking into, because Army of Bees was telling me that there's a way to get an iPhone on Wi-Fi to be another camera source, and I'm looking into it, so I would really like to start doing that, because I think that could be a fun way to get like a cooking stream going, but without having to figure out how to maneuver a whole bunch of stuff around while still streaming on this setup with all my OBS stuff in it that I'm a lot happier streaming with than just like going off the phone. Oh, Techno, you're using that. Well, hell yeah. Dwarf's Quest, is this a big unboxing reveal? We're gonna unbox some Transformers politics. Nothing that has been unseen. I don't get sent early Transformers. Although, the next review going up should be a toy that's not out yet, which is MDLX Starscream by 3-0. I was slowed down on that one a bit because I filmed the footage for it so I can make the point, but then I wanted to fix it for the sake of filming everything else. The wing backpack on that toy, the tabs are not as tight as I would like, and I found it was falling off while I was trying to mess with the joints. So I tried a new tab thickening thing that I also want to make a video about. Finally sat down to give it a shot. I think it totally works, and it skips around a lot of the frustrations and also the vagaries of using floor polish, and that is using hobbyist acrylic resin, gloss varnish, and just painting it on with a paintbrush. I think that might be endgame thickening, outside of like if you're having one of those kooky moments where it's like, no, I'm just going to use super glue. But I think endgame thickening is going to be that, so you don't have to worry about floor polish names anymore. Don't have to worry about, does Pledge still exist? Does it still work? Don't have to worry about where you can only buy Pledge in like friggin' 1-2 liter bottles. I got ideas. I got to try it in a few more things. I got to film the other things. I'm going to be trying it out on specifically Studio Series Scourge's really irritating 4 pipes that never stay up in robot mode. I'm going to see if I can like tighten those up, and I'm going to film that part so that I can have like a fun video come out to describe it. But they sell varnish like that. You can get Vallejo varnish in like a little bottle like that, a little dropper bottle, and then you get like a 5-cent paintbrush, and you can apply it accurately without having to worry about all that Q-tip or toothpick nonsense, or dipping stuff. Like I just think it probably works better, and it has a gloss finish. Floor polish kind of did too. Zim Man, I've been advocating for acrylic varnish as a thickener for years. Yeah, it was when I was looking more into what the gloss varnish does specifically and how it like forms like not just a coat but a very durable coat, because I found like acrylic varnish that's matte varnish, because it's basically just paint with no pigment in it, it kind of peels off. I find I'll try out a few more of them, but I found matte varnish didn't have the durability I was looking for, whereas gloss varnish has a little bit of that extra grip. So like for instance, with these tabs, I put too much on. I need to shave a little bit off, but even when I put too much on and the fit has been too tight, it didn't have the thing where it's skinned off, where like the stuff you painted on just sort of degloves off of the thing you put it onto. It a little bit ripped on the corners, but it clung really hard, and I think that's what's setting it apart. But however, that adds also dangers, right? Of like if you put way too much in and it's like a fragile hinge, then you might have built a coating that's stronger than the hinge, and that's also bad. Robot Lorekeeper, you went to school with matte varnish. Well, friggin' they bottled that poor guy years ago. We're still using drips of him to this day. So, like 07 for his sacrifice. And yeah, Carnage, you point out a good thing here. Provided the surface allows for good adherence, that is another thing that is notable. These tabs on MDLX Starscream's backpack are pretty smooth, but it's still gripped. However, I put it all the way around, so it formed like a surface tension. I think if I'd only put a patch on the top, it might have stripped off, which I probably could have experimented with before I went like all in. So still things to figure out, but in general, like, also those little bottles of varnish are like $2 to $5 depending what country you're in. So it's not expensive to mess with. I know floor polish is not like expensive, but you know, it only comes in giant bottles, and it's just, you know, it's annoying. It's the end of the day, the worst part of floor polish is it is inherently annoying to work with unless you polish floors. What's up, Brian? No worries. We'll see you when you're in, and we'll be thinking of you when you're out. But yeah, that's been one of my little quests. I have so many little quests, and another creator I follow, who I was following like early on, Dana Howell, had a video go up about like looking at last year, and there was a comment in that video that really stuck with me, which I never thought about, which is not for everyone, but for a lot of personality types, if you describe like what you're gonna do, you then receive a majority of the serotonin that you would have gotten either way when you did the thing. So if you talk too much about what you're going to do, it can actually demotivate you from doing anything. So I'm trying not to like get into like, here's everything I'm going to do for the coming year. But I got all these little ideas of like that are all in my head now. Of like I want to talk about trying to use gloss varnish as a thickener, as the new endgame thickener. I still have the whole script done for a little chit chat about why I don't like the word content, but it's okay to use it because it's too late. I've really got to record that. That's just doing this basically as a pre-record. I just never think of doing it till it's like I'm not home. And then I also got some streams coming up, which I'll probably talk about later, but tentatively should have my first planned collaborative stream happening on Tuesday, doing a fun little mystery tier list. I'll probably chat a bit more about that concept later on after we're all done in the post-show. Scorpax7, Student Scissors, I see you there. Yeah, Student Scissors just had a video go up, I'm pretty sure, go up, for a Lego Prime build. Student Scissors like joined the Discord and it was like, yo, I do this Lego stuff and it all looks frigging amazing. So check that out when you get the chance. IMO, which means in my opinion. Yeah, oh my god, I'm on fire. One of the things about floor polish coming in those giant jugs that last forever, I was talking about this, I think this might have been even on a stream at some point. I was getting weirded out about how my like decade-old bottle of floor polish was also turning a real funny color. And someone had mentioned that like floor polish doesn't have a best before date, but it was never designed with the idea that you were going to hang on to it for a decade and use it in little drips, and that like it's not like anything bad's going to happen, just no one really knows what's going to happen if you just keep using the same bottle of floor polish for like 25 years. So like, I don't know, it felt like another reason to want to like figure out another solution that comes in affordable but little bottles. Because also then you don't have to store the friggin' the 2-liter jug of floor polish somewhere. You just have like a little dropper bottle you can worry about. It's just a convenience thing to me too. But I don't think this is like, we're replacing floor polish, but it also deals with the inherent thing of floor polish where all of the guides for floor polish, not all of them, a lot of them, date back to when it was called Pledge or Future, and now apparently it's called neither of those, except when it is called one of those, and it's just confusing for someone coming into it new to figure out. Whereas, hobby-grade paintable gloss varnish, it's just always going to be gloss varnish. It eventually gains consciousness and has an insatiable appetite for cheese fries. That explains the yellowish color that mine was becoming. Future Pledge, yeah, Future Pledge floor polish, Future super grade floor polish. Carnage, my last videos published were airbrushing for beginners videos. I remember those. Next episode of Triple KO. Oh, we're guessing who I'm. I mean, we're pretty sure we're committed to the time. I just don't want to be like me and streamer creator are gonna definitely be there Tuesday because we're gonna like probably solidify that tomorrow, but. I'll just say who it is later on, because if we don't solidify it for Tuesday, we'll solidify it for some time, because he ain't getting away from me. My floor polish bottle was basically, the color it was becoming was a very sickly clear yellow, which I just didn't like looking at it. Anyway, we are opening some things. So Techno, you guessed right. By the way, we're not opening new things or undiscovered things. We are simply opening some politics. Oh, I forgot this happens. We are opening, some politics. Some politics. So, you know, they say never talk about politics at the dinner table, but what about when those politics are robots? Right? I've had these for months. And I kept going like, I'm gonna stream opening them. And then something else would come out, and I'd be like, I will push these back. And then when my mom was visiting here for Christmas, she was like, oh, those look really cool. I'm like, yeah, I still haven't opened those. I should probably open those. And then the Legacy United Deluxes came in Canada. And I was like, well, time to push these back one more time. So, what's up? Yo, Sideswipe Prime. Hello. One of these days we'll get a Superlink Iron Tread stream. I forgot who that is. Hang on. Hang on. I remember a voice actor saying the name. Oh, that was his name in Superlink. Right. It's one of the Superlink names I don't remember, because that one got too coded into me by the American version. I'm not going to tell you who it was. You can look it up. Techno, you've been hardline on like, no, I will open them on stream, and like, yeah, you got to just stream more. You're running into the old Crasis thing where you've got like toys that you haven't opened for so long that they're past the return date almost, right? And then like I always remember poor Crasis like opening like a very expensive like Bandai DX piece that had a QC problem, but it was like a year since it had arrived, so it's like Ami or HLJ, whoever, they're like, yeah, you're past the 90 days. You should have told us about that earlier. I think we talked about this on the stream once. Like, it's one of the frustrating things about, like, when you want to enjoy your things that you're getting, but also you gotta sort of check them within a certain window. Otherwise, like, you might miss the ability to return something that could have been returned and replaced. It's bonkers. Sunspot Prime, you have stuff from April you haven't opened. Open the stuff from April before it's April. If it becomes a year old, like, unless you are just like, you are shaking the champagne bottle, that looks terrible. You are shaking the champagne, that looks worse. Unless you're shaking the champagne bottle of serotonin, and it's just gonna pop. It's just gonna pop after like 12 months of buildup. Braden Smith, for one of my first customs, a Carnivac, I used old Mod Podge for protective coat. It turned slightly yellow as it cured. Yeah, Mod Podge I know is always floating around as like a usable as well. And that's another one where I'm kind of like, do we know what happens when it dries? And like, some of it dries fine, but like, I mostly hear about Mod Podge, like, as far as like absolutely concrete uses, is like if you're just creating a really thick, like kind of basting paint that you are going to paint over afterwards. For like terrain and stuff. Sorry, I am not keeping up with things. Vanisher, oh, that cool guy. Yeah, that one. Wait, you still have like a Lego Dimensions thing to you gotta open that. You gotta open these. Anyone still have unopened Skylanders? PT, you gotta send your King Oger Ranger keys back to Japan because Bandai used the wrong decals for the lake. That's annoying. Perfect example, though. Like, especially if you're getting imports. You know, take your time, open at your own pace, but also open them before, like, 2 or 3 months have passed so you can get a replacement happening if you need to, because that stuff still happens. It's very annoying. Oh! Damn, I didn't bring them over. I fixed my animated Bumblebee problem. Maybe after this this box shred, I will I'll give us a little intermission and I'll go grab him. I was able to fashion a 3mm peg out of solid brass, and it was more complex than I thought it would be, because I forgot that 3mm diameter is a lot thicker than the brass wires or brass rods one tends to use for like pinning pieces on miniatures. 3mm thickness, when it's a solid brass 3mm thing that's like this big, I like tapped my head with it and it hurt. My GameStop, well, I had a pre-order with GameStop, but it was online, so... Oh, no, it wasn't. It was for pickup. Yeah, so I guess mine did get him. Oh, yeah, and then Random Factor saw a Bumblebee at a GameStop on a shelf, I think, this week. So yeah, they're floating around out there. New Sam, what's up? You have a car robots... That's not unopened from, like, the year 2001, though, right? Like, from you acquiring it in the year 2001, because that's ripened at that point. Braden Smith, you excited for the Amazon Mayhem Attack Squad box sets? It all depends how they turn out. That's like this is actually a really great tie-in to that thing I was talking about, where like when you hear about the thing before it happens, you get like a majority of the serotonin already. Like with that new leak list, it's like Amazon's doing Mayhem Attack Squad, and it's like, okay, and I don't know what any of them look like, so I got nothing. But so I actually didn't get the serotonin from that. That, yeah, you know, spoilers. That's the Amazon exclusive capsule upcoming this year. But no, like there's a 2-pack listed, but otherwise it's just, you know, it's going to be the capsule where some things get shoved in with a, you know, a theme tying them together. I assume probably some thematic box art, but you know, otherwise, what will they be? We'll probably find out soon enough. Ken, I found some Japanese animated stuff I never opened the other day. I still have at least, like, I think an unopened Clear Optimus from Japanese animated. I think it's here, too. I just saw it in a closet recently. I bought that Wild Ride maybe 10 years ago. Oh, so it's only a 10-year ripening period. That's still a long time. Oh, Ken, it was also Clear Optimus. Was that... So there was like just a whack of Clear Optimi on Mandarake or something, right? Because I remember not paying much for that thing, or was I lucky? Because I remember that was one that was kind of just there for a while, but it was like the black and gold one was hard to find. Where's Kean Carlisle, who owns everything animated? Where can we... Anyway, I should probably get going. I've been chattering for a little bit here, so I am going to rearrange some things. Yeah, I'm also curious if they're going to retool that Bludgeon, if they are... I mean, do they have to, right? Because his presence might be just so we can have a second figure in a box that we don't really need to retool. Yeah, Hawk, you're about to say... I was about to say, Hawk! It is weirder with toys, I guess, but also pile of shame, right? Because, I mean, pile of shame involves quote-unquote work, right? Building, painting, etc. And miniatures, you can't just throw in a box as easily as figures, because they break. Where do I want to put my wrist guard? I'll put it up here, I guess. Oh, wait. Okay, left, right, or right, left? Someone answer immediately. Yeah, the Impactor didn't need... The Impactor was just like, we got another head! Right, left. Okay, we got it. So we will be starting with the right-hand side of the box art. Blam. Yeah, we had Sideswipe Prime was there. Sideswipe Prime was there. PT right behind. So y'all left rights were doomed, unfortunately. But you know, you did your best. Yeah, miniature storage is especially in in a messy situation like the one I tend to live in is part of the reason why I try to be a lot more careful about, like, pile of shaming, basically. Hang on, I gotta put this back up front where I can see it. Is that an axe or one of those fireplace thingies? We'll see in a sec. I forgot the inside of these boxes is not a real adventure. I like Feldair cases, but in Canada they are prohibitively expensive to get a hold of because they don't, at least last time I checked, they don't have Canadian distro, so they become, like, bothersomely expensive to get a hold of. KR Multicase for a while was actually really easy to get a hold of in Canada. Like, their shipping, when you go, their free shipping threshold was really nice for a while. Yeah, I'm keeping that box art for a little bit. I got to film the side-by-side still. How does this Orion compare to the MMC one? Well, let's be fair. We'd be comparing a War for Cybertron Deluxe to Optus Pexus, who is like $90 or something. I forgot now. Oh, Lorcon, yeah, you gotta... Yeah, KR cases, I really like them because they're standardized size, and I like their foam. These are literally... I forgot. This is just... It's just... little piles of tissue. It's like Christmas! I did not get Nacelle. I didn't care enough about Nacelle, unfortunately. So here is Orion Pax. What are we looking at? Hang on, let me flip this over a little bit, too. Hi there, Acon Lord. We are opening up the Political Transformers box, Sis. So this is the Amazon stuff that came out last year, where the listings were all backwards. You can unbox your toys and blow your nose. I will say, don't blow your nose in this stuff. This will, like, dry your nostrils out, probably shred your nasal passages. That is a lot of just multicolored stuff. Hound? Who's Hound? Never heard of him. I'm still doing that. Alright. Alright, so now we gotta... Excuse me. YouTube Studio just popped up something. I was wondering where this button was. It didn't point it out last time. It put a big blue arrow pointing at it. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Because I said, please don't determine when to put mid-rolls during my stream. So if I do take a break, you know, once we're done with the box shreds to go grab that animated bee, I might push the ad button to see what happens. I think that's a fairly new-ish thing for YouTube to have. Bot shots, why do you know that? Have you blown your nose with this? I'm not taking any questions at this time, but I appreciate your input. And, you know, we're always thinking about you, the people, and the users. Siege Hound from the hit streaming show War for Cybertron Siege. I always forget, was it actually a hit? Look at all this tissue dust on here. Was Siege on Netflix actually like a hit? Where do you stand on Senator Ratbat's fiscal policies? Personally, I think Senator Ratbat, right, has some good ideas as far as, like, lowering our spending and raising our spending. I gotta guesstimate where some of these pieces go. I'm gonna wing it a little bit. I'm guessing these are on his arms because I see it on the CAD model that they're on his arms. Iconic 1984 character Green Detritus. Oh, thank you. Where's the Cybertronian mode Detritus? I don't know, honestly. I think it's kind of weird they went straight to Earth mode after, like, they had a perfectly good mold in Cybertron Defense Hotshot, Generation Selects, War for Cybertron Deluxe. They could have just rolled with that. Wait, are these the only parts that go on? I gotta look at. Hang on, there's too many bits. This is for Orion Pax. Right. Okay, I was right. It goes on, yeah, on those holes. Was it Netflix or Hasbro that nixed the Legacy show? I think it was Netflix. I'm pretty sure Hasbro was down for whatever. I feel like when that was going around on social medias, it was implied that Netflix were the ones who did not choose to do the renew. Are there any ideas that existed in Flame Kaiser, that existed in IDW that should become mainstays? I think functionism should be a constant with adjustments for different settings. I don't want anything to be like a constant. I'm going to adjust the focus on this webcam, by the way. It's bothering me. I don't think anything needs to be like always there, but I would like a lot of it to enter the menu, you know, like with every new series we get. I'd love for there to be the opportunity for some of that stuff to pop up. For me, it's Termagax. Termagax is one of the best things to come out of a lot of those comic books. That is she is never going to be referenced ever again. Unfortunately, I have a feeling, because nobody cares about IDW2 except for like 12 of us. But Termagax is one of my favorite concepts ever, and I would really love for Termagax to be in more things. IDW2, I will say, is criminally underrated in that nobody really likes talking about it, or just didn't know it was happening. It's not even like, I'm not going to sit there and go like, it is the best stuff IDW ever did. It just has good concepts that are worth talking about, but, you know, it was in all the wrong places at all the wrong times, it felt like. And that's unfortunate, because I like a lot of stuff in it. You know, you want to pull some bullet points out of things, like I can pull happy bullet points out of IDW2 for myself, at least. That moment when Clench shows up and starts shooting cassettes out of his trailer. Master Ben, did you get Nova? I did not. When he actually came out, I was not feeling confident to just buy a leader class toy, so I canceled my pre-order, because I was like, I don't have the 70-some to drop right now, that week. And then afterwards, I was kind of like, I would like to pick him up at some point, but I just don't really feel in a rush. I think my Nova hype kind of died off a bit in the mid-2010s. I wonder where they want me to put this thing. Brian, what do you thought of Shinya Tsukamoto's role in Shin Godzilla? I like seeing Shinya Tsukamoto in things. He makes me happy. So I mean, I'm a little biased, but I was happy to see him in there. Do they just have this going in the same spot as the gun? Oh no, they haven't switched around. Okay. So they want, that's weird. They want gun in the middle and pike on the side. I think that looks worse. Excuse me? Place it straight up like a flag. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they want this thing, like, just chilling out like this. I don't know, there's no swagger to that. Yeah, we're gonna go... It doesn't fit because there's a safety knuckle guard! Hang on. Evo Fusion! Is this not... This is wider than 5mm. This is like 6mm. This blue thing is wider than... Oh no. Everything's going wrong. Evo Fusion... It doesn't fit. That's a peg! You know what? I also think that knives look really good on the sides of trucks. And he can still roll. Hey, there you go. Don't drive up alongside Orion Pax. I like that this is... Wait, is this... Yeah, this is... According to the name, Data Clerk Orion Pax. Known data clerk activity. Carry giant halberd and/or axe. It's for splitting data streams. It's for when you get those big log piles of paperwork, when you gotta split them, you know, like the lumberjack lady on Instagram. Data clerk, not to be confused with dock worker. Correct. And then we got Senator Shockwave. I kind of like how this turned out. I know there's a lot of reasons to not like it. I don't know. I think it's a cool way to take the Tetrajet and then like tweak it a little bit, because I'm not the biggest Tetrajet fan of the Siege Tetrajet because it doesn't have a triangle. But I think this plays into the lack of the triangle at the top. I don't know, and they're adjustable. I actually kind of like that these are peggable. Like, you can stick just jointed fins onto stuff. These are the wings. Can he swoosh? Yeah, he's a... The one thing the Siege Tetrajet has always had is swoosh factor, because you can just grip, you know, back here and go noom, noom, noom. Oh, yeah, the swept stuff got retooled out for the big booster things. So Senator Shockwave just go fast. Because he's not really... He doesn't care about leaving the planet, right? He's got politics to do. He's just like... lol, Shockwave isn't even purple. What is this newfangled Gen Z Shockwave lol woke? You got him. You got him, Adam Bilmu. You GOTTEM. The... the kids. Is this tabbed in properly? This is crooked. What's happening to his chest? Oh, it's off the hinge. That's why. By the way, media comprehension. We all know a sarcastic, ironic use of the phrasings, as opposed to a serious one. Correct. Big question, can he bloosh? Yeah, he's blue. Super Fire Dagwan. He's got the right color. But yeah, I'm very pleased about a Senator Shockwave toy existing. Even I saw a lot of discussion about like the coloration and whatnot, and then like people realizing like there are so many mildly different colorations for this character to pick from that like there is no good answer. This kind of like go with the one that you, the art department, design department, are most pleased with. He still has these things. One of the best parts of the Siege Tetrajets. Timu Kananen, can this PAX hold the omnidimensional transcendent legacy of hypergalactic justice magnum? Possibly. I don't have that here with me because if it has to reside on a different coast than me for the sake of tectonic balance, but ideally I could at some point check. Yeah, I am definitely in the minority. I think from what I've ascertained is that with the Tetrajets, I got Starscream. I then kind of felt like I don't really need the other two, and then I got the Rainmaker 3-pack, which I felt had the best hand feel. Like they somehow had reverse mold degradation and felt better, so I really liked them. But then I got the Earthrise Seekers, and I really like the Earthrise Seekers, and I know the Earthrise Seeker mold is not very popular compared to the other one, and that's not to say there's any objectively correct answer. It's just like I've noticed in the circles I run in, people in 2024 seem to have like fonder feelings for the Tetrajet, and a lot of the critiques of the Earthrise Seeker mold are not incorrect. Like, it is kind of just the classics one, but a little bit better, but it also has like a part where you have to flex the plastic. Super Fire Dagwan. I still feel bad. They took your bit from you, and they made it a hard to get exclusive. How could they do this? That's slick evangelist for you, always dancing around the answer of which is objectively best. Correct. If anyone was ever born to be the enemy of objectivity, if objectivity was Batman, I would be Joe Chill. I killed objectivity's parents. What? What's the intention for these? Do we just leave them back here? I kind of like that you can sort of just flip them up like Armada Starscream style. raise this up a bit. Because I'm like, this is my taste, right? I am sitting here going like, give me one real nice solid tab. Like, if there were little notches on here to tab this part into, I would be so hyped. I like that they're mobile, but also, like, I want to know a defined thing to do with them. The CAD model looks like they're just like, you can fold them like that. And, like, that's fine. Kind of wish these things, like, had, like, a thing. Had a thing. His robot mode has warp nacelles. Yeah, he's very enterprising senator. Oh, pardon me. I'd better top that up before the night gets too young. Back heaviness be damned. Well, you notice he's not falling over. Because he's got some big-ass heels. Robot Lorekeeper, I like the colors on the Army Builder Seeker. It would go into the box set if it didn't remind you how much you despise KISS players. I never heard of that. I know there's an animated universe Autotrooper in there. I actually comprehend what's happening. I'm just being mischievous. Wait, was I supposed to do something with the Trinary booster hunk? I remember this moves. Yeah, it does that. This feels slightly new. Like, look at his shoulder line. Because, like, that's, you know, perpendicular, but they actually end slightly back. I like that. Is that new on this? I feel like that wasn't a thing on the Siege Seekers. Zimman 2, does that pun warrant a Fufufu or an ara? Well, we never triple up our aras. At least I don't, as a habit. I always go for the deuce. So it's either the triple, you know, it's the or it's the ara, or it's the oh ho 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 ho. But that's an oh ho ho, an oh ho 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 ho. So you're going for either the deuce, the trio, or the quint, right? I feel good about Senator Shockwave. He's going to do great things for Cybertron. Yeah, he's got some excellent plans and thoughts, and, you know, thank goodness on Cybertron we live in, you know, a glorious senatocracy where, you know, like, everything's really above board, and you never have to worry about political violence or anything like that. It's you doing that ara has disturbed me to my core. I mean, it's fun. It's a good fun time. We always like to ara when we get a chance, right? Yeah, I like this. Actually, I think it looks better to me in person than how I felt in pictures. I thought this looked very clunky in pictures. Obviously, you know, but something about the in-person feel is like, it's kind of slick, kind of smooth. Does not, in robot mode, I do not just see a Tetrajet Seeker. Obviously, there's one there, but it, you know, the in-person visual impact is working for me. How much does Shockwave bench is the question. He clearly recruits most of his strength from his chest. You know, this is pre. You can see the boob forming, right? But it was after he got his little cranial upgrade that he, like, really went all out to, like, extend and power that thing. Evangelist going ara did something to my. It wasn't even a good ara. It was I mean, hey, pat myself on the back. I think I can hit a pretty decent ara, but that was not one of my better aras. You know, we gotta let the ara build a little bit. Era. I'm going to put. Oh wait, this goes on the side, right? Yeah, this has like a little spot. I put that on backwards. Don't look at me. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is young. This is Picky Peeps. This is young Shockwave. The boob will grow. Degeneration X. Greetings from the Tennessee. Sorry, the Tennessee. The Tennessee. Good to see you. Me when I immediately forget how this toy works. All right, yeah, I have to pull in the front. Yeah, the Drum magazine. It's good stuff. Robot Lorekeeper, Termigax, my real-life mom. Robot Lorekeeper! Are you a few minutes behind on the stream? I suddenly have this feeling that you might be on VOD mode without realizing, or if you just don't want to miss stuff, that's also cool. But I'm having that moment because I'm like, wait, I think this is the second time I've seen like an oddly delayed chat, unless I'm just coming to you on a lag, in which case that'll happen sometimes. YouTube's very bad about letting people jump to the current time. That is irritating. You know, we're always doing our best. But the systems we work in. What does a data clerk need an axe for? To cut the tape on all the paperwork stacks. I'm trying to remember what actually is the tab on this. There we go. I wanted that click. What does God need with a starship? I'm assuming that's from something. That's just a good line. And I hate being... Because I hate it when people do that to me, when you say something and then they're like, oh, that was really funny, where's that from? So I'm going to say, no, that probably was original. That was an original thought in a piece. Iconic IDW character, Red Detritus. Yeah, you know, they're going for the deep cuts. Chris Carnage, you eyeing my Turbo Dork? You eyeing my rack of Turbo Dork back there? I like them. They are weird. Because I've kind of adamantly tried using them as brush-ons. And it takes a very long time for them to do anything as brush-ons, but even as airbrush stuff, they really do kind of like I've tried to be lazy and do things my own way here and there. They really only do the magic thing when you airbrush them on in a few thin layers over specifically a gloss black, and it's got to be gloss black for the effect to really happen. Hawk, Red Detritus, aka Retritus. What's really messed up is what if there is actually a character called Retritus out there and we are just retconning them the hell out of mattering. This tab's back, that you see it. There is a tab right there, that third one. There is a slot for it right there, and it is not gripping and it's driving me nuts. It's doing that thing where it's popping back out. And a lot of people get over this. Look! I'm going to release it. It'll pop a second afterwards. Oh, I hate that. Ooh. That stuff drives me nuts because I never know what to when it does that, I never know if I need to tighten or loosen with like shave or thicken, and it drives me friggin' up the wall. You want to know, hang on. We were just talking about him. I was just messing with him again. Friggin' Bludgeon, right? Mine is really annoying. You want to know why? Okay. This cannon pegs in. Guess what happens with this one? It goes in, pops out. Goes in, we'll hold it there for a little bit, pops out. Never quite mounts on. So this one clips in real nice. This one never does. Oh, it drives me up the wall. Anyway. So those little things. PT, it pops out with that force. I'd reckon it needs a shaving. So here's the other wild thing. Sometimes with these things, if I just leave them for like a week to a month, they just start working. Sometimes if I leave them for a few minutes, they just start working, like is what's happening here. So sometimes things like that are any combination of the climate, micro expansions or compressions of plastic to the climate, remaining mold residue. If there's paint there, micro compression layers of paint that don't chip off or anything, they just sort of squish down a bit on a microscopic level. It just started working. So sometimes that stuff just starts working. Ghost did it, got it. Yeah, basically that's how we put it with the scientific community. Plastic is so weird. I always have gone on about various different knowledge holes that toy collectors kind of... It's not that they need to know that stuff, but it's like there needs to be more of a self-awareness about the things we don't know when it comes to our ability to form critique. And I think that there are many toy collectors who actually know quite a bit about plastic. I think there are a lot of toy collectors, and myself included many times, who are very confident about our knowledge of plastic, despite being a mixture of ignorant and wrong. Yeah, it's, you know, it's one of those things that with the greater community, we will just grow, you know, as time goes on. These guys both have new head sculpts, and I think these turned out pretty well. Data Clerk Optimus here, they really went for babyface Optimus. I'm going to see if I can adjust the focus to go just a little bit closer. And I know that sounds like that should be simple, but in OBS, I have to do this through multiple menus, and then they appear on top of all of my preview monitors, so I have to then move them. It's very annoying. All right, that's a bit sharper when I hold them like this. Falling Down Orion Pax. That would be a weird movie, wouldn't it? Imminently rewatchable in clips movie, Falling Down, by the way. Like, you know, that's one of those films where you can just watch, like, those you know, those, like, 3-minute clips that, like, aggregator channels have put up, like, a decade ago. That movie really works for that. They left out his lucky faceplate. He just, you know, Chrysalid, he just didn't have it yet. That's how baby this guy is. I also saw somewhere else, like, yeah, you can stick this drum on the back of the gun, too. You can also give Data Clerk Orion Pax his famous Data Club. So if you just want the real Data Clerk experience here... Is it popping again? It briefly was popping again, but now it's fine. And you walk up to the library, and then this friggin' dude just walks out to greet you, goes like, "What do you want?" Picky Peas, have a good dinner. At the end of the movie, all right. "I'm the bad guy. When did that happen?" First time I saw Falling Down was over the course of 3 different screenings when they would air it on TBS way back in syndication on the, you know, the movie slot. So I saw, like, the ending. No, I saw the middle first. Then I saw the ending, and then, like, many months later, I finally saw the beginning of that movie. And I never knew what his name was until the 3rd time. Red Snarl, wasn't this version of Orion a cop? You'd think so, but, as the paperwork clearly states, he is simply a data clerk who has a lot of beliefs about, you know, citizens' arrest, civil justice, etc. Keshmar Orange, perfect Peter Cullen version. It ain't. But thank you. It's just a funny voice I like to apply to Optimus Prime. I'm a believer in if you can't do the impression, at least hit the spirit where you can. For the young... Oh no, Techno, we can't do this. Quote, "For the younger crowds, there used to be networks that would replay the same movie over and over again, so you could just watch the whole movie over multiple Yeah. Well, no, in TBS, they wouldn't play it over and over again. It would be, it's TBS movie night every night, 8 p.m., and then they only had, like, 8 movies. So if you waited long enough, they would just play the same movie again later on. Falling Down was propaganda. Orion Pax as a cop is also propaganda. Falling Down is also the reason I like it in clips. I really like to take that movie in as fun clips because it is an odd movie to think about as a fully assembled piece. Every 5 to 10 years or so, it feels like what I see in it shifts. Is the suspicious shape on the back tip of the axe 5mm compatible? Wait, hang on. I put this on backwards, for one thing. Safety. Suspicious... If you mean these... Those are 5mm? Back tip of the axe. Like, that's 5mm. The axe parts are not peg-shaped. And this comes off like this. And then this is actually like 6mm, along with this hole. Because this is too big. As you can... Like, it doesn't grip. It's... What do you call it? Its Kegel strength is not powerful enough. Glacius X2, what's your take on Kapow Toys in the UK boycotting the sale of Titan Tidal Wave? I think that news story is getting presented in a slightly, how do you put this, not misleading light, but a lot of people are talking about it in a way where I feel is not fully representing the intent that I took from their statement they put up. It's mostly them saying, like, Hasbro is selling it direct. Hasbro is not allocating us the ability to sell it remotely competitive compared to their direct. The Titan toys constantly go on sale, so the bulk of what they're saying is we're not carrying it, and then I think they just sort of added, also, we would recommend that you wait, because it'll probably go on clearance. And I don't really see anything wrong with what they're saying, because, I mean, as a retailer, especially a UK retailer, they're probably kind of fed up with the notion of, like, hey, we'd like to carry this Titan, and being told, okay, here's your retailer cost, so if you want to remotely, you know, make a business profit off of this. So yeah, I don't think that they were literally going like, everyone boycott the Titans, because that's not what I read, but I also haven't read it for a few days. Maybe I forgot something, I don't know. What's up, Wheeljack64? I don't have any cool senatorial... No, we do have senatorial weapons. We've got... hang on. This is going to be worth it. I will say I am pro Titan class tidal wave because I'm Armada PS2 game coded. So I'm like they've done it for me. They did it for me. Hang on, it's the wrong way around. Can Lord, he absolutely can. Oh, the 3/4 circle hole in the accent. Oh, the whole hole! Okay, hang on, we'll find out. I see what you mean. Like that. Okay. So that is gripping a 5mm peg, but not... Like, it's gripping it, but it's really wiggly. I don't know that I would rely on that as, like, a connection point, but... it does not fit this one, so that is, you know, it's not able to take the 6mm. I would say that's usable, but since this is a 6mm hole, it's not really going to do anything cool on its own. You'd probably still need to have the stick attached to it. Like, I'll say it is tight in that it's not wiggling when I do this, but it doesn't feel confident when I wiggle it with my finger. You know what I mean? What's up, Richard Reyes? Titan clearances are also, like, what do you call it, regional, right? Like, they are definitely not, you know, a surefire thing necessarily, but I've always seen the opportunity to get a Titan on sale, not necessarily clearance, but, you know, like 25% off. I've seen the opportunity exist on nearly all of them, at least according to my vague memory. It's just that they always go on sale when I still can't afford them on sale. Which is the bummer. Anyway, I was doing something here. You can do a super robot attack. He's got the shock boomerang. Huh? Huh? I don't know. I'm impressed with myself. Degeneration X got Cyb Metroplex for 99 US last month. Yeah, I that's what I mean. Is like, I would like to catch. I'm now behind on 2 Titans. I'm behind on Metroplex and on Nemesis, and I kind of want both of them still because I'm a friggin' deranged weirdo. But I haven't seen them for the price I can pay when I can pay it. Nemesis, I think, was on sale during boxing weeks over here, but I was tapped out. That was not possible for me. Would you classify those wings together as a bow or a boomerang? Boomerang. There just ain't... There's not enough meat for a bow. Also, low-key, he can't hold them in bow position because he's got too much wrist. Well, okay, he kind of can, maybe. I don't think he can do this one. No, you can't turn them into bow position. You'd have to really BS with your perspectives. So you'd have to be holding it kind of sideways in the grip here, which, you know, that probably is a valid way to shoot things. So if you pretend there's a string and you're like, shock archery! But if you look at it from the front, like, that's not pointed the right way. What about claw mode? Again, he can't get them quite forward. They're at an angle. That's why I went for the S thing, because then they can hold them flat, and it, you know, it's like, oh, my hand's gonna spin like a shield. He's just protecting his wrist. They have hinges. Well, they got hinges, but what I mean is like, see, the width of the hinge is slamming right into the box on the wrist. So you can get one if you tilt his hand down a little bit, but if you try to get 2 in there, like, it just ain't fitting. Oh, if you mean like this, Wolverine, well, kind of. They've got to be pointed straight forward. Like, you can't get them up a little bit in, like, raking. They got to be a little bit like this. Yeah, X21. Yeah. Yeah, failure. Hang on, I gotta do the bit. I seem to notice that I cannot have Senator Shockwave comfortably hold his removable finlets as an archery bow. Hey, back down. Lazy. I can't. I know I have too many cameras. I don't know how to set this up so that everything makes sense. I can't do it down here and then look up here. Then I'm tut-tutting. I'm tut-tutting downwards. It ain't right. But yeah, I bumped this up so you could all see yourselves. Secret Easter egg. Behind the curtain, he's running OBS. This freak. In claw mode, it looks like the thing old ladies use to grab things at the supermarket. It took me a second to know what you were talking about, but I think you mean the thing that's like, it's like this, on like a plunger stick. I thought that was a deliberate bit, so it was just infinite smug evangelist. I ain't clever enough to deliberately bump the camera like that. For some reason, everyone wants to give him null rays in his upgrade kits. Really? Maybe those are just... I don't know the upgrade kit scene that well for that era. I don't keep up enough now. Maybe it was just an upgrade kit for the Siege Seeker, so that part was already, you know, like, in there. Lorcon, I hear one gives him a hexagonal head with a single eye and a gun for hand. That's just ridiculous. What's that even from? That's just silly. We're going to open the other box now. I'm starting to... I can feel it. I can feel the brain drag happening where I'm like, I'm going to sit here fiddle with these fins for 2 hours. Those are Guyver-type high-frequency swords. Yeah, true form. It's a Macross reference. Oh, it's like one of the Destroids. So we're gonna pop this one now. Why are people determined to make him look like Galactic Man when that's an unrelated... Galactic Man isn't even blue! I think I know a thing or two about the Galactic Man, thank you. Whoa, that was loud. Oh, that's worse. Hey, why aren't these ones wrapped in paper? What the heck? How do we manufacture some engagement outrage? Hasbro, I noticed you didn't provide me with tissue paper on my more expensive 2-pack. Huh, makes you want to think. Makes you want to consider what the motivation possibly is for this kind of, lazy packaging design. Timu Canadian ran out of paper. It's true, though. I'm only doing lazy because Sideswipe Prime is here. That's not true. I'd be doing it anyway. We need more people in here who have the kind of jobs who get the joke, but also are just very mildly tweaked by the joke of like, oh, but I know what that noise is. I know what that noise is he's making. Whoa, I knocked over... You'll never guess who I just knocked over. Forgot to bring him in for his trademark cameo appearance. It's D:(Optimus Primal. I noticed Megatron does not have his heels flipped out in the package. It's gonna make him fall down when someone's trying to put him on the desk to continue with their unboxing content. Not a friendly move for the fans, I don't think. Superlink Iron Tread. It's time. Ah! There we go. Just enjoying my time with some of the last of the paper twist ties, excuse me. So that's our problem. Hasbro! What if he fell over into my spike pit? Think! Because it's like, you know, I hope I make it clear at times. I'm not even like, boy, I love Hasbro Corporation. They are my friends and family. But like, sometimes there are notes in the realm of monetized criticism media, which are sort of fun to play around with. Great use of nail clippers, hell yeah. No god hand nippers for the paper twist ties. My god hands are actually in a tool case, because I keep them away from things, so they're not in a position to fall down, because I really want my god hands to last a while, and, like, I don't want to ding up their edges by having them, like, get knocked over. I'm weird. I know. Lorcon Nagel. I love Hasbro Corporation. They are my friends and family. Evangelist 2024. You know what's really messed up? Is that's not what I said. That's not what I said, right? But you just... Okay, maybe I said that out of context, but also I just read that because it was in the text window there. So now I did just say that in isolation. That's friggin... I got checkmated. Taking advantage of my amateur streamer brain where I read things out loud. Griffman, I highly recommend the Toy Hack stickers for Ratbat. I recall those looking kind of sick. Clip it, put it on the podcast. Gets clipped and gets put on my own podcast. I'm like, Bees, what are you doing to me? So now this is politics. I have a memory. It's weird. I own the toy. But I have a memory of the original Senator Ratbat United toy having a lot of that kind of not chrome gold, but like that shinier gold. Am I misremembering that toy? Team of Canadian Toy Hack's been killing it lately. They they sure have hashtag ad, especially when you use the coupon code NEWYANGELUS, which works until the end of January 2024. Do you know I had to record 4 takes of that because I said January 2023 twice? Embarrassing. Arrgh! These heels are fighting me. Wheeljack, looking over at my shelf and it's shiny. Oh, okay. You should plug that more. Well, you know, when I got friends like Toy Guy throwing that into videos out of nowhere. January 2023 twice, so January 4046. If I could get a coupon code that lasted till then, that would be sick. But, you know, Genie in a bottle logic, if I got that, they'd be like, yeah, and we'll pay you in January 4046 as well. It's like, no! But yeah, I try not to be too obnoxious with my Toy Hacks code, whilst being just obnoxious enough to feel like I'm getting it out there. It's one of the only things I post on Twitter now. I don't even post about new videos on Twitter, but I will post the code, so it's floating around. And then I try to go around and, like, rebump it once or twice during the month. I am particular about putting it... I only put it on videos where it's like a mainline transformer of some kind, i.e. one that has a chance of actually having a sticker set existing. That's why, like, I didn't put one on the MDLX videos, because I'm like, well, they don't do them for MDLX. So that doesn't make any sense. If I were to put it in there. Is this another 6mm hole? Because this is just slipping in and out. I feel like I'm missing something, actually. Oh, like... Well, that can't be right. The top is the 5mm part. Put it in all the way, you know. You're not wrong. That's on me. So Senator Ratbat just has his senatorial gun. You know, already puts him in a weaker position than Senator Shockwave. Senator Shockwave just has, you know, like vibroblades on his arms. Ratbat here is going like, whoa, 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 gun. Also, for what's remolded on him, I believe it's the chest and the head. If someone knows better than me, like, those are the parts that stick out to me immediately. Because he's got, like, the kind of necklacey thing, and I don't think that was on the sweeps. And that certainly is a new head. Timu, I agree. It would have been nice if they had done, like, 2 open hands on him for full senatorialness. Especially since this is, like, the, you know... They have everything developed for this mold family now. Are the shoulders different? I don't think they are. If the arms are different, that's sick. But they have sweepsy... Like, this forearm is a sweeps forearm. It's got that thing, right? Maybe the shoulders are different? Pretty sure Ratbat is going to sweep the electorate. And then what's messed up is he landslides it, and all the friggin' Constructicons are like, you didn't even ask us. Shoulders are different. Okay. That would mean that they are different all the way down to where the bicep swivel is happening, because that looks like it is one single piece. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure these are the Scourge Sweep forearms, though. I missed something back there. Is Ratbat doomed to be a Scourge remold forever now? Probably. Well, MMC did him out of someone else, who probably could also be retooled into a sweep. So that's the problem. As a veteran sweep troop builder, feelings on the Legacy sweep mold. Do you mean the, do you mean the Studio Series 86 sweep mold? Never saw sweeps in legacy packaging before myself. I like it. Still amazed MMC hasn't made a not Pharma. I think that they got gun shy on characters like Pharma for one reason or another. Based on, like, data that someone else has. And if that's the case, that's unfortunate. With him just looking up like that, some of that made me laugh. That TF reviewer, is it true that Transformers YouTubers bring Transformers to dinner when they meet up with other Transformers YouTubers? Yeah, I mean, like, if someone we've had this happen before, where someone came to a Transformers YouTuber dinner unequipped, and you know, that's when you give them the Flipchanger. That's when you go, oh, well, that's pretty embarrassing for you, but don't worry. I've got a twin twist right here for you. G1, of course. You can hold on to that while we eat. Look at this guy. Didn't MMC's IDW stuff kind of bomb outside of Tarn? At least, I actually don't know. Also, his foot just fell off. I don't know any of the sales figures for a lot of third-party toys. Nor do I know where anyone is getting them. So, like, I'm not sure myself. Twin Twist is pretty embarrassing, to be honest. Damn. Listen, my fellow Americans, I speak merely of the G1 Flipchanger, the embarrassing G1 Flipchanger duo of Twin Twist and Topspin's original toys. I say not a single ill word towards a magnificent Machine Wars or Beast Wars spring-loaded Flipchanger basic. That was not intentional, but that matches the vibe of what was going on there. This guy's feet are not staying on... One of them is. I think this one's staying on the peg pretty well. This one ain't got no peg grip. It's not even clipping in. It just sits. James McD, Twin Twist was my first Transformer. That hurts Chris. Not as much as the first Transformer being a Twin Twist Flipchanger, am I right? Note my lack of eye contact with the camera at all times. They got guns pointed at me. Hey, Ken, the Beast Wars basics were peak Transformers. Everything has been in decline since. Damn. Owned. Got him. Insert a thing in between the clips so it'll tighten itself. Yeah, I was just thinking. I just got to stick something in there to widen this. We got to split the spread a little bit. Does his helmet? Hey, what's up, Face Forward? Does his helmet come off to reveal his glorious hair plates? What do you think? What do you think the budget is on this? This is a Voyager retool. We got that's for DNA designs or whatever to do. That helmet is staying on there. This revolver holds 8 bullets. Boo. Got him. Now, I always have a soft spot for the G1 Flipchangers, Topspin, and Twin Twist because it was not hard to get them complete, so they were some of my first post-fandom interaction complete G1 toys, and so I just felt really cool when I got like, oh, I got a complete Topspin. Look at me. To fix that peg, I would put the mushroom peg under very hot water and just have it set a little bit wider. Yeah, just gotta get like a wedge in there. I don't even know if I need hot water necessarily. I could just leave it like overnight, but I can give hot water a try too. I'm so distracted by his foot falling off. He's got a drill. That's new, I think. for mining. He's got a pickaxe. I think this is new for mining. Probably had, you know, some existence at some point as being with some kind of Straxus. It's got a very Straxus look. I hiccuped. Griffman, no one has made a helmetless Megatron head yet and it obsessed me. That's weird. I figured someone would have by now. Vanisher, both weapons from Eggs are new. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I like the pink on this a lot. That's a good look. I'm going to try to turn him into his famous mining tank mode. Because, low-key, I kind of forget how this Megatron works. Because I haven't messed with an Earthrise Siege... Earthrise? A Siege Kingdom Earthrise. Was he in Kingdom? I haven't messed with one for like 2 years. So... how about a theorem about the implications of Cop Orion Pax eventually evolving to leader of the Autobots versus Grime under the fingernails, honest labor Megatron becoming the enemy? I think it is a very good story hook that is often installed after a continuity has begun. And I don't think it's ever really gotten a chance to breathe properly. Because I think there's definitely legs in there. We get bits and pieces of it all the time. Oh, Megatron Beast Wars was in Kingdom, that's right. We get bits and pieces of that kind of story, but I don't think we've ever gotten a proper take because it's often being inserted into an Evergreen-friendly or a G1-oriented existing story. At least in my memory. And so it never really got a chance to breathe yet. And that theme has been touched on in a lot of places, and I think it's still a worthy theme to hit up. Like Earthspark, in its own way, is poking at that theme. His foot just went. Oh, it's way under the table. I'll be back. Oh man, it bounced as far as possible. We got it. Anyway, that just clipped for a second. That was his ankle clipping. Never mind. Yeah, Techno, I really liked the IDW2 take of, like, Megatron is a politician who bought into his own BS so hard he became 1000% a supervillain. I liked his character arc in that. It was a neat take. JT Elm. We are just unboxing some political transformers. I have absolutely forgotten how this guy's legs work. Good lord. I'm just like, bend for the H. Griffman, you got the Earthspark Cyber Combiners. TJ was telling me about those on them podcast, and I really want them. There we go. That's what it is. I would like to pick those up. I think they sound really fun. I'm just gonna take this off until we're done. I would really like to pick them up at what I would call a kind price, because they sound really fun, and I would like to catch them for fun monetary times too. There we go. My memories are coming back of how a toy works. I did need to rotate the waist. I prefer Scientist Starscream to Insane Kefka Starscream any day of the week. I would like to see a take on Scientist Starscream that has some meat. Because I can't think of a take on Scientist Starscream that feels like it's really fleshed out. Because it's just one of those G1 talking points, but I feel like I've never really seen it. Like you know, the Netflix shows, I think, tried to imply something about scientists. Did they even? Or am I giving them too much credit? Yeah, the War for Cybertron games had Scientist Starscream for like a minute. But yeah, he's never actually been a scientist in any of those takes. He's just been like, no, I absolutely was a scientist. I absolutely, genuinely was a scientist. But anyway, I got all these thoughts on running the Air Command Squadron. I liked IDW. I mean, you know, I'm a broken record, right? I liked IDW 2 Starscream. Where if I recall, yeah, he was the one where it was like, what was it? Sentinel Prime's last words: "Kill Starscream." Where it's like whatever intelligence department Starscream did, whatever kind of actor he was, the dying words of the leader of the planet were "Kill him," and I like that as a take. The payoff wasn't as hard as the lead-in, but I still really enjoyed that. Oh, we got pee-pee poo-poo in here with the quote pee-pee poo-poo. Does Shattered Glass Starscream actually count? Probably. I didn't read the comics that they put out, and I don't really know who he is outside of the comics. This is gonna get complicated, isn't it? There's gonna be a bunch of stuff I have to do here. We're gonna suss this out. Nothing against those comic books. I just was not interested at the time when they were coming out, and then I couldn't find them. I could read them digitally. Like, there's always a way to read a comic book if you really want to. Unfortunately, I will say unfortunately for the case of a lot of people who work on them, in many cases, but does this go on the... Oh, pee-pee poo-poo, you hit up Bloodywood. Nice. I feel vaguely responsible in a way that I am happy to hear. That looks more like the top of a tank. Yeah, remember, support your local comic shop if you got one. Because, boy, the Amazonification of comicsology really, like, messed up my vibe just reading comics in general. Bloodywood is a very good, fully independent metal band out of Delhi, India. They have very, very good messages in their songs, and they are very, very blunt in their messaging. I probably missed it, so I'm just gonna look. Where does this go? Seth, you look like the top of a tank. Jesus. This guy comes into my chat with this friggin' toxicity. Huh? Are you kidding me? Look where they want you to put it. Are you... This is the official placement. Like that. Are you... Okay. You just put it on the side. It just looks so weird. I didn't think you would just put it on the side like that, but then the friggin' right in the CAD model instructions, like, nah, it's the banana. It just chills out over there. Like, okay, we did it. Acan Lord, comic shops are a very difficult business to keep alive today. Many don't survive long. Yeah, very true. Evo Fusion! Yeah, pee-pee poo-poo. This is Minor Megatron from the 2-pack with Senator Ratbat. Seth! Someone... Oh, you made me knock over Orion Pax, Seth. Good lord. You did this. Someone was just asking if you're on Blue Sky, and I was like, absolutely. And then I went to look, and I clearly made assumptions. So there was a request for your presence on Blue Sky. Wait, is Seth the Seth? That's a band Seth. Jesus. Mining Pick Megatron. Be funny if that was his actual name. It's not, I'm not mining Megatron. I am mining Pick Action Megatron. But yeah, the big thing. Oh wait, he's doing that thing where he's a drill tank. The drill doesn't clear. Oh yeah, you're right. Well, okay. Let me put the screen up. That much clears, right? So he can make little dents before the tank part runs into the bottom. Okay, yeah, Seth. There was just it recently, like 2 days. Someone was like, "You should get Seth on here," and I was like, "He is. Let me go get him." And I went to look, and I was like, "Huh? Did he get banned?" Wish drill tanks weren't so flooded. So drill tanks work when they are just a drill, like when they are just one big, famous Twitter user on treads. Then I think they work. The drill for Megatron's a grower, not a shower. I mean, look. If you're gonna grow, you got plenty of girth. You just gotta thrust those hips forward. You know, do some of the work yourself. Don't rely on your partner. You gotta put some work in too. You know, it's a team effort. Jesus. What's his head gonna do? Now that I'm looking at this. We're talking about the girth of Minor Megatron's drill. I just knocked his foot off again. This is very funny. All the various different ways his foot is coming off. It was posited that he's a grower, not a shower, and I'm just saying there's plenty there already. You just gotta use it better. Can his drill tilt down? No, because it connects with 2 rectangular tabs in here, so it doesn't have a pivot point. And those can... Oh! I was going to say those lock in, but they don't. He can pivot it down. But then that's kind of just making the problem worse. Because up here, at least, like if there's something with, you know, room for clearance down here, he can penetrate. If he points it downwards... then he's really, like, occupying the same space as his double H bumper. Yeah, well, yeah, Screwhead and Doug Drill are both, like, a drill with this little treads on the sides, kind of. Does the turret rotate? It does. So, like, he could do this, but his treads don't work like that, right? He'd have to have someone push him sideways. So if you got, like, another tank pushing on this side with this drill running, then you would have full unobstructed penetration. But, you know, that's where does that exist in the canon? To the rear, there's even more in the way in the rear. Like, look, Minor Megatron is a dreamer. You know, he's not there to be a miner. That's just the job he was given. You know, whether or not he's good at it, doesn't really, he's a writer, okay? Okay, look, I did say fully unobstructed penetration. We're talking about drills, however. I think that's fairly SFW, which means safe for work. And I'm raising this, so I'm going to raise this up too. JT Elm, he doesn't turn into a drill tank, he turns into a tank with a drill on it. Big difference. That is extremely valid. That actually rather makes the point. Oh, there we go. Okay. So he still has the faceplate. Does it line up? I missed this. His faceplate has a little... Look, it has a little face on it. I missed that in all the promo shots. That's kind of cool. And, like, you tilt his head forward a little bit. Boop. Fits together just right. Minor Megatron works at the mine. Gets a lot of writing done at the mine. Have we considered maybe that's just the way physics work on Cybertron? Well, the thing is, in the political era where these pieces are from, the physics did work in a different way. However, it didn't quite match up with this. I'm a bit of a scientist on the side. I am forcing some stuff here that ain't happy with me forcing it. What's going on here? Hawk, you are not a YouTube commenter. I've seen you post videos. You're one of those creators. Seth, Games Workshop has been crossing over with lots of stuff, including Hasbro-owned Magic cards. How long do you think before we get a Transformer Space Marine? I mean, I'm pretty sure, we can probably find the material somewhere where, at least on a grassroots level, someone has painted a Space Marine like Optimus Prime in Optimus Prime-esque color palette. Forcing it is bad. Correct. So that's just going happily. That's just like, no, I like this. At least I thought it was. Nope, something is unhappy. What have I done wrong? What have I done wrong, dear? What Senator Ratbat does a great job of turning into neither a rat nor a bat. Look, on Cybertron, okay, rats and bats work a little differently. Now, I am a scientist on the side, and I can tell you, this is the classic. Look, it's right there. Okay, it's right there. It's looking right at you. There's your rat and your bat. It would be nice if this head just, like, sank in a little bit. The shapes are almost, but not quite. Not quite. I kind of like it. Actually, here. Now he's a bat. There, I fixed him. Let me just come in here and fix everything. Is there any reason Ratbat is a senator except for the joy of the name? I forgot where it first happened, but he kind of just got coded as being, like... Before he was a cassette, he was a bipedal man who was a senator. And then stuff happened to him. Yeah, Tau Battlesuit's got that Transformers feel. Outside of canon, yeah, it's just is a canon like thing that happened in a comic book, and then like a toy came out a few years later where they're like, we need a new colorway on this noise maze. Do him purple, call him Ratbat, and this is the Senator version where he's a guy, and then it just kept happening. Oh, why would a writer make Ratbat a senator? This doesn't actually... I was about to give an answer. This actually just begs another question. So back in the Marvel Comics, there was a run where Ratbat was like the leader of the Decepticons, and he was just Ratbat. And that might be where it's pulling from, but then that immediately, that will then beg the question. Why was Ratbat a leader of the Decepticons at one point in the Marvel Comics? And then it's like... You keep asking me where kids come from. And I don't... I can't... When the embryo and the egg... But yeah, that kind of like... That dials back to a roundabout to the spot, right? Ratbat thought of the car wash of doom. Yeah, it's... What came first, Superman, the chicken or the egg? Think about it. Cadmus. Didn't Joe Talking Toys? Didn't the council he served on condemn him to his cassette mode after finding out he was supporting Megatron's uprising or something? That was post set. This is such a weird friggin' thing to say. That was post Genesis of Senator Ratbat. So you know that was just when they rolled like, how do we have a Senator Ratbat become the Ratbat of old? That was a post SB era. Vanisher, the chicken and the egg both exist for the sake of the omelet. Damn, that's cold. Chris Muse just saying the egg. Now we don't want to have any fistfights about this. Anyway, this 2-pack, yeah, I sat on this for a few months wanting to stream it, and I kind of dig it. I think that this concept, let's call it a capsule. This capsule concept, super solid to me. I think it's odd that they kind of pulled an Orion Pax who isn't really any of them. He's just a little bit of all of them. Like, I don't mind it, but I think he sort of just, like, he and this Megatron, he's the one who's kind of just along for the ride, I think. The minor Megatron, I believe there was just, like, there was a little bit of call for this at some point in the last 5-6 years. I just feel like when this came out, people were like, finally. And then, like, these two are the highlights. But if they put these two in a 2-pack, then they wouldn't have had these two to sell, and so we'd only have been buying the 1 2-pack, and therefore, I know how marketing works. Ratbat's vehicle mode kind of reminds me of Blastoff. He's got a similar family of purple going on. And up here, like, if I cover this, like, that does totally look like Blastoff. Right down to the little cockpit windows. What's crazy is minor Megatron has a new head. Yeah, there's so many. They did so much, like, modular tooling on this skeleton for a skeleton that's, like, not really all that beloved. And what if Blastoff but boat shoe? Yeah, I forgot that the Gen Selects recolor had the minor style head. Build a figure Senator Raiden incoming. You know, Senator version of Raiden would be the most fiction Raiden has ever gotten, so, you know, I'd be down with that. Was that cold? Maybe a little bit, but I remember assuming for like a decade as a younger person that, oh yeah, all that Raiden fiction just must be buried in the Headmasters. Little did I know, they kind of just shuffled the train bots out of the way. The TF review, what would you guys do if you knew that Prime Arachnid and Revenge of the Fallen Alice were hunting you down? I would woo them, because I think I could pull it off. Also, they kind of hot, so, you know, I would be able to make that work. Now, I say that caveat, as long as they are robots, not some silly, like, human pretender nonsense. He's his own committee. This joint feels kind of... I know this is riveted in. This feels kind of weird. This wrist swivel. Not the wrist swivel, but the wrist block swivel. Known ladies' man evangelist. Yo, listen, let me tell you about my dating app profile, babe. I get a lot of matches that ask me to provide my social insurance number. Ugh. I'm just going to turn these two into vehicles, and then I'll feel satisfied. Give them the look. Oh god, ladies Mangelus. Sounds like... I was gonna say sounds like meat. I'm just gonna stick with that, because it does. It sounds like meat. Make sure you don't over... No, I can't say that. Well, now okay, so what I was gonna say... Make sure you don't overstimulate or over-tenderize your mandulus. Otherwise, it'll get calluses. Huh? We found the next Toy Hacks code. God damn it. It's too long. Honest question that might have been asked. TF Wiki presumes Supreme is actually Omega Supreme. How wrong are they? How did they stray so far from the light? They've been listening to too much science with their brains and not their hearts. Is the best way to put it. It'll work for Valentine's Day. Damn it. You're not wrong. That's the problem. Y'all are not wrong. That's the next code too. Okay, if I get a code for February. Damn it, you're all right. I hate this. This is not what I set out to do today. Was have my artistic integrity co-opted so fantastically. Come with the Legends class, ladies Mangelus. This is Legends class. Excuse me. Excuse me. Voyager, excuse me. Commander class. I'm not... What I was about to say is... I'm not that expensive. You don't need to go up to Commander class to get my attention. I am no Legends. I'm the Ladies Mangelus, whatever that may be. That ain't no Legends class. Titan class. Titan class is when someone goes like, okay, you think you're Titan class, huh? And then I just get owned. Well, Seth with the big question here. I know Transformers are more than meets the eye, but how much more? I wasn't expecting you to bring like that kind of like virulent discourse onto my doorstep, but we're here now, so... Like, I've never really thought about the quantification of meets the eye. Yeah, damn, that's heavy. It's heading into one of the more intellectual Transformers YouTube chatting audiences here with the real stimulation. Got Adam Bilmu here with what if the Matrix is actually Unicron? Catch more orange with more than meets the eye. Does this guy pronounce it meats? I don't know. We'll see. Something wrong is... Oh, wait. There's an entire roof in the way. That's why that wasn't folding down right. It's just describing the relationship between surface area and volume. Proud of myself, I remembered that these weird little wedges here are because you can fit the bicep in there and then bend the elbow for the sake of the undercarriage. Just patting myself on the back. It's the little things. The other night, that being last night, I had a moment where I was like, I haven't messed with Unique Toys Nero since I got him. It's time to mess with him again, because I was just talking about how I still like that toy. So popped him out of the case that he was living in. Not the nice display case, but the hastily filled glass case that just has higgledy-piggledy stuff everywhere. And he was in truck mode for the last, like, year and a half. So turn him into a robot. Did not need to reference anything except for what the front foot flaps are supposed to look like by design. It took me a while, but I was that toy holds up. I still like that piece quite a bit. Transformed it without any instructions, just remembering some of the science of what's supposed to happen. Nero was Age of Extinction Galvatron. Toy that does not use any exploding into ball-jointed sticks, it just uses chunks and panels to turn basically inside out. I like transforming that toy. However, mine came with one or two of the pointy forearm saw pieces already snapped off in the box, and then another one broke off when I was transforming them the first time, so I crossed that Rubicon, and I just don't care about them, and that makes the toy a lot more relaxing to me. Yeah, I forgot that the ankles are weird. They're not weak in that he just flops over, but they are the only non-ratcheted major point of articulation. However, they have all this interlocking stuff around them that, like, he still stands. They just feel weird. Stardust Magician just flexed those brain muscles on us. You know, I also pulled I pulled one of my only two Fans toys out of the closet, because I saw that a Fans Toys Scourge came out. So I was like, it's been like 4 years since I touched the Fans Toys Galvatron that I got when it first came out. And I remembered hating transforming him because the instructions were god-awful terrible. And then I saw that there was like an official video guide up now, so I went to look at it. And it was helpful except for the part where the video guide just starts skipping steps too. Like it goes like, stop, this part moves, stop, this part moves. But then the last, let's say 25% of turning him into a cannon, they just start going like, and then just stop motion this whole thing. And I'm like, I hate how much everything around this toy loudly communicates we don't think anyone cares about his alt mode. Because a lot of people don't. But I do! Did I ever wrangle a Deathsaurus? Acan Lord, I got good news for you. You should check out a stream from last month called... Hang on. Hang on. Got a great stream last month called Boxing Day Death Soxing. Fully chapter marked, by the way. All the December 2023 streams, fully chapter marked. If you want to just jump to certain bits, just about every major bit should be highlighted in those. So, you know, check them out. Check out the big Extra Life stream that we ended the year on, because that has lots of bits, and I highlighted every single one of them in that 7+ hour stream, so it's fully accessible. That stream's also fully demonetized, because we did 2 karaokes and looked at an old FigArts review with a music track, and all 3 of those things got claimed. So the stream is fine. It's just, it didn't even get muted. It gives me the option to... actually, no, it doesn't give me the option to mute anything, because the stream is so long that none of the editing tools work in YouTube. Yeah, pee-pee-poo-poo, I agree. The thing is, that Fans Toys Sovereign Galvatron, once I had a better description of how the torso is supposed to work, I have turned around a little bit on that thing's transformation. It is a very... like, the transformation to the cannon mode goes out of its way to make everything lock together in a way that cares more than I remembered. I was kind of pleasantly surprised, because when I got that thing, I was really,
my viewpoint on it was very tainted by three things. Number one, the instructions were garbage, and they made the torso transformation hellish to try to follow. Number two, he came with a giant flight stand I didn't want, and I felt like I paid for. Number three, he comes with a giant pine cone of energy effects that I didn't want and felt like I was paying for, and he also can't use because they're too heavy for the toy to hold up. But no, it was a kind of pleasant one. My other fan's toy is Phoenix, who has a legit good transformation in my memory. I haven't messed with him for a while either. I'm going to do that later, probably. But then I was like, dang, maybe I should track down Quietus and Inquisitor, finish another Unicron Herald's trio. I didn't know that there was a whole saga about Quietus being expensive that apparently I missed. Oh yeah, the 7-hour stream was fundraising for Extra Life, specifically for Sick Kids Ontario, Canada, who I am fundraising for again this year. In the description of this video, there is actually a link to my Extra Life page. I just haven't set it up yet. It's just there, so none of the milestones are in. There is a link down there, so if you do want to donate already for just fun, you can. But I'm going to set up some milestones, hopefully by the end of the month. I gotta take a sip of something. Hang on. Ooh. Because my hope is to do a little Elden Ring stream at some point this month and have the QR code ready to go so people can give to Extra Life. Because a friend of mine got me back onto FromSoft, and I was like, oh, Elden Ring's on sale on Steam. I'm gonna buy it. I haven't turned it on yet. Oh, Seth, I can give you a Blue Sky code. And so I haven't turned it on yet because my friend who got me back onto FromSoft stuff was also like, yo, do you want to, like, could I try joining a stream sometime? And I'm like, we should stream Elden Ring. So I gotta figure that out. I have never played Elden Ring myself, but I have watched a lot of people play it. It was one of my comfort foods in 2021. If that's the right year, was watching multiple playthroughs. The main one I watched when it was new was the Wayne Radio TV playthrough, and I watched that whole thing. And I'm halfway through watching the Sanagi Yuzu playthrough because I've been enjoying that one too. So I know lots about Elden Ring, but I don't think that really removes from the experience. It obviously denies me a certain type of experience, but it still is also full of Elden Ring. I missed a whole bunch in here. Oh, Akan Lord, I have the 2 original KFC Junkions. They're buried right now. I remember liking them, and I remember hating the handlebars, and apparently that got fixed on the run of like 7 or whatever that they did, but then they also were more expensive for me at the time. I didn't pick them up, I couldn't afford them. I might sometime pick up like one of the ones with the retouched handlebars. Oh, Seth, you got... Okay, the Chris Corporation has got you settled, Seth. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Vanisher, I was... in 2021 especially, I was just like... I was eating up VODs from Radio TV Solutions. I still keep up with them, but I was extremely... in that period of lockdown, just like watching whatever was coming out. I watched the whole Tulip playthrough. It was good times. The Elden Ring one is worth watching because it's Wayne playing it, and he like adamantly wanted to run fists, and this was like a pre-major patch Elden Ring because this was close to launch. So like him trying to run bleed fists was like playing the game way harder than, you know, I'm not gonna say it was worth it because it was fun to watch, but like the hitboxes and stuff like did not agree with fist weapons. So like when he's fighting like Starkiller or whatever, like there were times where he was inside the model swinging fists and like it wasn't registering hits because the fist hitboxes were just like jank as hell. I don't know if that even got fixed ever, but it was also a pre-patch Radon. It's Radon, right? So it was like hard Radon, and he was trying to do it with bleed fists. You know, it's famous Elden Ring boss Starkiller base. Yeah, there's a ton of KFC Junkions now, so I just gotta pick one. One of the new ones. Yeah, this was like pre-patch Fist only run. He did it. But like the hard bosses, like it's fun to watch because knowing that he finished, right? It's fun to watch, but it also means like there are hour-long stretches of just like time to try to fight Radon again. I think one of the streams was almost exclusively just Radon grinding. When he did it, it was very satisfying. Hang on, I'm going to switch to facecam for a sec here, because I should wind down soon, but I want to go show you my fix for Bumblebee in a bit. But yeah, also, after all that talk I did about, like, don't want to just say I'm doing things too much, I do also really hope to do, like, an Extra Life Elden Ring stream. Not like a 24-hour one, but, like, just a fun little gameplay stream this month. I want to try to get an Extra Life stream happening at least once every month, just so, like, it's a thing we always have running, dedicated. Hey, Hoopla. Hey, just wanted to say congratulations, Radon was harder pre-patch on beating Starscourge Radon, who is easier now. I know you've been working hard to clear the fight, it was way harder before, and... that feels like the characterization of, like, most of the streamer chats that were built around people streaming Elden Ring, from what I remember. But I just want to play it, because I got to poke at it at my friend's place a little bit. Because they also have, like... the PS whatever that runs Bloodborne, so I actually got to play Bloodborne briefly, because I don't own a PlayStation anything past 3. And that was kind of what started getting my FromSoft gears turning again. So on someone else's machine, I got a leftover character in a save slot called J Elden Ring. Yeah, PS4, that's... Oh yeah, because there's only 5 of them, and it was the one between the one I have and the new one, so it would be 4. There's also, what was it? Yuzu was doing an Elden Ring randomizer, Deathless Run streams, which were kind of funny to watch. I know Radio TV Solutions also did a randomizer co-op when it was new and extremely janky, as far as, like, crashing constantly. If you've never seen them, Elden Ring randomizer streams are pretty fun, because, like, if they don't set the toggles up in a certain way, they can walk into an unwinnable seed, where, like, you know, the last boss of the game just walks through a door towards you as you round a corner or something, which is kind of funny. Bloodborne Cart comes out at the end of the month. Is that a real... So that is, like, a legit, full, realized thing? Because I remember when that first popped up, and it was kind of like, is it just, like, a funny game jam thing? Because that thing also looked kind of fun. Yeah, Radon, Soldier of Godric. So yeah, I know Bloodborne Kart's a fan game, but I didn't know if it was, like, getting fleshed. Not to, like, keep on this train, but also I recently went and dug out my Dark Souls the card game that I bought during lockdowns, which is, like, an actually pretty okay card game. It's a co-op card game where you mostly are just... It's all fights. I've heard it described as all the good parts of Dark Souls the board game. It's made by the same people. And it's just the fighting system, so there's none of the experience grind. You just, like, make very simple fork-in-a-road decisions traversing, like, a map. And you have, like, randomly generated encounters and then a boss with an AI deck. It's a pretty cool game. It's a little bit, like... I'm not going to say broken or janky. It's one of those games where you're building a character deck that you start with, and you're upgrading it, and it's... not impossible to just die because of bad luck, and then because it's a tabletop version of Dark Souls, it's not infinite regeneration. That's kind of like the FromSoft issue when you go to a board game version of a FromSoft game, is you can't just have the infinite, you know, tries thing, because that doesn't really match up with what the mechanics of a tabletop experience would be. So, like, Bloodborne, the board game, for instance, which I do like, comes with a very strict timer, which is, like, sort of the antithesis of what you would think of with a FromSoft game, of being on a strict timer, right? But it makes for a better game, I think. Anyway, I was looking at that. And I was reorganizing it a little bit because it's one of those games that comes in a uselessly small box with no insert, and it's a pile of cards you have to organize. So I have all these little like plastic deck boxes in the board game box. It's real. There are loads of characters and tracks finished. Is that the one meant to be playable on PS1 hardware? Well, isn't there also like PS1 Bloodborne as a separate fan project, or is that the same thing as Bloodborne Kart? Because I know I've also seen a lot of screenshots of the like PS1 Bloodborne, if it was a PS1 game thing, which also looked really cool. Are you getting the second Jurassic Park crossover by any chance? I would like to catch it on sale, and I missed it on sale because I had no money during Boxing Day week. So I would like to pick it up, but I don't want to pay full price. And I don't think I will need to, because it seems to just be floating around right now. Okay, it's the same developer. Alright. I still gotta paint my Bloodborne the board game miniatures. I was gonna do custom bases on all of them, but I'm starting to second guess that on some of them, because I'm like, am I ever gonna... If I want to do custom bases on all these, will I ever actually do it? You know, like that question, that hobby question you have to ask yourself of like, I could edge highlight every single miniature I have. I could do custom green stuff rolled out bases for every miniature in this board game, but then it's like, will I? You know? Skullboy, the stream is still going to go on for just a little bit, but you are here at the tail end. We did do all the box openings already. I'm on a FromSoft tangent now. This will, however, be a VOD once we're done, so it'll be there. Rick, Soldier of God. FromSoft name. I hear the Bloodborne board game is the Dark Souls of board games. The problem is I don't know if you're doing a bit, because there's also a Dark Souls board game, which is also the Dark Souls of board games, because it's the Dark Souls board game. The Bloodborne board game is the Bloodborne board game of board games. And it is actually nothing like Dark Souls the board game, which is the Dark Souls board game of board games. But the cleaner experience of Dark Souls the board game, the Dark Souls board game of board games, and Dark Souls the card game, the Dark Souls card game of board games, of Dark Souls board game, Dark Souls board game of board games. It's really pretty simple, honestly. Like, I don't know how we're getting confused. You know, we could try, we could a little bit more, could do with a little bit more listening and a little bit less daydreaming. I pointed out the Dark Souls board game to a friend and said, I hear that's the Dark Souls of board games, and he didn't get it. That's unfortunate. I think that might have happened to me once. Like, somewhere at some point, I know I've dropped that's the Dark Souls of, and someone was like, what's Dark Souls? And I was like, oh no, I'm the problem. Dark Blood of Soft from Bornware. That's a good TTRPG. Actually, you want to know a real Dark Souls of board games that's Warhammer related, and also you can't get it, and I want a copy, but I don't want to pay the aftermarket prices, is, what's it called? Hang on, I'm gonna double check the name. I gotta get the name right, because it's a bunch of Warhammer words. Where is it? Because it's not Space Hulk. It's not Space Hulk. It's a card game where you play as a bunch of Terminators on a Space Hulk. It was put out by Fantasy Flight Games. Space Hulk Death Angel. That's the one. It's specifically called Space Hulk Death Angel. It's apparently a very good, obscenely difficult solo card game. A lot of people love it who have it, but because it's Fantasy Flight Games Workshop licensed, it went very suddenly hard out of print. So it's not hard to get a hold of the base game, but it is kind of pricey. There was like, I think 3 expansions. One of them is maybe easy to get. One of them is very hard to get. One of them is like triple digits whenever it happens to pop up. What a fantastic sequence of words for a game title. Yeah, Space Hulk Death Angel is the game. There is a print-and-play reskin of it that I have bookmarked somewhere that I've been meaning to print out. Which is one of the frustrating things about all the out-of-print Fantasy Flight Games Workshop stuff, is it is not entered the print-and-play realm because it's just too close for comfort for folks who might want to like scan a lot of it in. Warhammer Conquest is the card game where I had to do a lot of digging to find images of the final cycle of cards, because it's like 6 LCG packs that were available for like a month and then went off the market. And they're very expensive to get a hold of, and I just want the whole card pool. So it took me like a year to find clear JPEGs of all of them. What's really embarrassing is I still haven't played the game. Friggin' collector brain rot took me over. Anyway. Thank goodness I solved that. But yeah, now I can't remember the name of it because there's too many Games Workshop words. Space Hulk Death Angel is one of the Dark Souls of board games, is my understanding. It's a game where you're likely to have maybe a 10% win rate, if that. Lorcan Nagel, Space Angel Death Hulk. Now I am never going to remember the name again, because I'm going to think of that, and I'm going to think one of the two is the wrong one. It's just going to all mush together. Let me go grab a quick intermission for you guys, because I want to show you my Bumblebee fix I did. I just got a comment who's happy about timestamps on a VOD. Is that one of you? Be weird if it was one of you, because we're still doing this one, and I don't have the attention span to watch 2 streams at the same time. Well, it's not that Dark Souls it's hard, it's that things are the Dark Souls of. That's kind of elevated beyond whatever Dark Souls is now. Space Angel Death Hulk is a minor 2000 AD character who got a spin-off comic 30 years later. Damn. Damn. You're not wrong, though. Oh, I wonder, can I just get something looping? I wanted to show you all something anyway. I wonder if this works this way. And when I say looping, it's not going to be like the hell segment from the Extra Life end of year stream. So don't worry. But I have a little 10-second video of something. So can I just stick it up here and then come back later? Let's see. Was it media source? What's great is if you watch the Extra Life VOD, this is the entire self-out-loud conversation I went through that time where I'm like, is this how I do it? .444, okay. Unfortunately, that is partly to accommodate the included trailer. I can hear you pulling a knife on me as I refer to a whole-ass included trailer as unfortunate, but unfortunately, that is partly to accommodate the included trailer.
I can hear you pulling a knife on me as I refer to a whole
BRB.
ass included trailer as unfortunate, but unfortunately that is partly to accommodate the included trailer. I can hear you pulling a knife on me as I refer to a whole ass included trailer as unfortunate, but unfortunately that is partly to accommodate the included trailer. I can hear you pulling a knife on me as I refer to a whole ass included trailer as unfortunate, but unfortunately that is partly to accommodate the included trailer. I can hear you pulling a knife on me as I refer to a whole ass included trailer as unfortunate, but unfortunately that is partly to accommodate the included trailer. I can hear you pulling a knife on me as I refer to a whole... Don't worry, I'm back. I'm just going to put this over here to the side. Wait, that's the wrong camera. There I am. Not my face, though. This is my face now. Oh, boy. I want to move the media source around, please. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So this is a clip from an upcoming video. I'm very proud of it because as you saw, hopefully, there's a part where the trailer just pops in. And that was actually kind of complex to pull off. But I also did it kind of fast, and I felt pretty happy with myself. Because it doesn't just, like, appear. It looks like it manifested and jiggles a bit. Like, here, it's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. Right, like that little bit. That was kind of tricky to set up, but it worked. But then I had to mask out a whole bunch of stuff so you didn't see a big shadow moving in the upper left of that shot you're looking at right now. So anyway, I was very happy with that, and I wanted to share it. That video is going to be the review after MDLX Starscream, ideally. Let's remove media source. It's out. The zoom out is also artificial. That's that because you can on any DSLR footage, and 4K you can do this even more. Any just 1080p footage, you can push in about 150%, and it'll look like you didn't. It'll just look like a zoom's happening. So that's just an artificial zoom, so that you're not just looking at a still shot of a truck the whole time, because you want to have motion, right, to keep interest up. Anyway, how did I fix Bumblebee? Because if you weren't here before, what happened is I got Legacy United Bumblebee animated, and both of his stingers were this one with the hole. And that doesn't help, because one of them is supposed to have a peg. So I followed some advice, and I bought a 3mm diameter brass rod. Now here's the funny thing. When you got some 3mm diameter brass rod, it comes in like a bunch of, you know, you get a bunch of them. I didn't get a Lego peg because I didn't want to pay shipping on a single Lego peg. So I got brass rod. These things are really heavy, and like I said, I hit myself in the head with it, and it hurt. So I thought to myself, I always use hobby nippers on my brass rods when I'm pinning things, you know, for miniatures or whatever. So whatever, it'll be simple. So I sat there grinding with my cheap nippers, the ones I don't mind destroying, and I could not get them. I could gouge a track. I could not get them to bite through. So then I remembered, I got these needle nose pliers with the wire cutter bit in the bottom. So I used that to clamp in, and then this is probably dangerous. With the cutter pieces clamped on where I wanted to cut it, I put a thumb over one end, and I started trying to turn it 90 degrees until it snapped. And that worked. I then had to file the brass rod down a bit for the sake of this, not having too much friction. And this is probably not the best fix in the world, but now I got a little brass peg wedged into one of these, and then they can combine together now to form the stinger. So I did it. And also, my Legacy United Bumblebee has metal content, therefore it's a better and higher-end toy than whatever your copy is. Unless you're going to go and, you got to strap some brass onto yours if you want it to be cool like mine.
You can get a little circular cutting tool. Yeah, I was remembering that, but then I got impatient. So I used my wire cutter piece on my needle nose pliers. Yeah, if it works, it works. So I'll show you. I'll show you that the function works now, and I can speak to the stinger function. It was really funny, actually. My final feeling when I finished doing all this. It's just like when you put pennies into Beast Hunter Prime. That's right, making our toys high end. I wonder how the person who ended up with 2 stinger pieces with posts is trying to fix this. They have an easier job. Snip and drill. That is 100 times easier than what I had to do. So I bite my thumb at them for the easy existence they have to live with. Ah, there we go. By the way, I know it's only been like, a couple weeks. Updated thoughts on this toy. I still think it's fun. That's about it. I still think it's odd that he basically has his, bigger part of the car feet on the back. And I feel like there's backstory to this that we'll never really find out, because this feels like solutions to questions were all happening in a row. Obviously, it gives him this quote-unquote more evergreen looking smaller feet, but I don't think that's the end game goal. I think there was it just feels like a bunch of different conversations all butted together on this piece. Griffman, Toy Hacks has a really interesting sticker set for both Prime and B. I'm going to get it eventually. Team of Canadian use the code. Using the code feeds the machine. Many props to Toy Hacks, by the way, for just giving me carte blanche to push the code however I wanted. 'Cause I'm not very good at being an influencer, so I like it when I get to just do my thing instead. Are you going to grab your fossilizers to mix with Magnius, though? I might at some point. Because I think I talked about that on the stream, that I think that they have the most aesthetically in common. But I want to know what the other Infernac universe characters look like first. Ugh. This is already actually losing some of its grip from yesterday. I need to put some... I had to shave down the brass peg so it could even fit, but it's also been warping this plastic because it's a brass peg. So I need to put some of the that gloss varnish onto this peg to give it a grippy, flexible coating, so that this connection's a little bit kinder to everything. Oh, now it's just not working. Oh, wait. Oh, no. I thought it cracked, but it hasn't yet cracked. By the way, this is not a good solution in general. This is just a solution for my situation. I'm not getting this lined up properly. Anyway, what I was going to say is my end reaction, right? When I finally got this all put together, and that was tabbed together, and I was looking at the whole thing, I was finally, all my work, I figured out how to cut this brass piping to fit this toy so that I could get this gimmick to work. Because I looked at it and I was like, I just don't like how this looks. That was the punchline of all of this. Is when I finally got it to peg together, I was just like, I think this just didn't turn out. Oh, there we go, it's holding now. But yeah, I was like, I just don't think this looks very good. Yeah, styrene rod might have been better. I was looking for styrene rods in my local stores. Frigging none of them had them. At least when I was doing a search. I couldn't even find 3mm brass rod. I had to go to Amazon. Everyone has, oh, I know what happened. The shoulders were down. If I put the shoulders up, this holds together a bit better. But this is also kind of making my point. It's even when this works, it's it's so limited how this goes together, and these can't, like, they just don't, they obviously, you could just have one in, it doesn't look good, it's all, you know, askew. I was saying this on the podcast where we talk about these, I don't think that one's out yet, I like Legacy United Deluxe Bumblebee. I don't really like any of his accessories, and on this figure, I think the accessories were very key to sealing up the final feelings on the figure, and so I like him as a toy, but I don't like his accessories, and I don't like that I had to spend money on him to get him. Do I just throw away my leftover runners and stuff? I used to keep a bunch of them, but then I recycled them all years ago, and I haven't built a kit in a while. Also, I don't know if the kits are 3mm. The 3mm thing was very important to me, because I needed the peg connection to work. But yeah, like, knowing the diameter made this easier for my brain, but then cutting the brass didn't. And so, yeah, I would then need to go like, hey, does anyone know any runners that have 3mm diameter rods built into them? And then I would have to go out and buy a model kit. And I was like, all of this, the pack of brass rods was like $15. And now I also have a whole bunch of 3mm brass rods. And I don't mind having 3mm brass rods. But ideally, in a perfect world, I'll just find another Bumblebee who has the actual, like, posted version of one of these, and then I can just, like, repaint this into, like, glyph or something. Give myself the excuse to try repainting a Transformer again. Free drumsticks, baby! Yeah! Ow! Still hurts. Anyway, that's my story. Also, same Amazon order. I'll switch back to here now. I finally got the AG, like, 9 batteries for Ocular Max Onslaught for the LED head function. Because I love that Bruticus set. Never had the batteries to see how the LEDs work. That is a hair trigger switch. And it's not an on or off. It's a click it and it stays on for like 15 seconds. And so, like, you do that and the switch clicks on. The LEDs are intensely bright. So Onslaught's eye is actually hurt to look at when they're on. So I'm happy I have the function ready to go. And it doesn't hurt as much when you put the Bruticus helmet over top. But I'm really happy that the battery compartment is not screwed shut. It's friction held, so you can just get it open again. Because I don't think I want the batteries to live in there. Because they are on all the time, and they're really bright. Super friggin' bright. Like, they turn off, but if I touch the figure's head in any way, shape, or form, usually that jiggles the switch on. But I've been trying to get those batteries, because I want to finally do a video about that set sometime sooner than later. And I was like, I can't do a video if I can't show the LED function, because that's critical to everyone who wants to pick this up. They all want to know that the LEDs turn on in the head. They don't. No one cares about battery functions. This is the way I'm wired. I'm like, I have to show the battery functions. Hey, Evangelist, you probably shouldn't hit yourself in the head. You're not the boss of me. I can do whatever I want. Ow. Yeah, he is literally attacking me with his I-beams. Also, these things came in 2 Ziploc bags. I don't know why. So I just kept both, because I'm like, this is kind of funny. I was listening to an old WTF at TFW number 349. You were pondering the possibilities of a Transformers cinematic universe after it had been announced. Ugh. Me speculating. I always feel weird about that, because I'm like, I probably got everything wrong. I'll be whatever I want to do. Evangelist 22. I didn't say that! Stardust Magician. It's a good thing Drain Bramage isn't a thing. Huh. I missed the TCG tangent at 8:39. What was it? I don't know anymore. Wait, at 8:39 of what? I go on tangents a lot, but no, I do have this every now and then. I'll see like replies. There's even a reply on the latest podcast that was just like an out of context. Oh, you said you think that's the bad one, and I didn't say it, but I was kind of sitting there going like, I don't remember what I thought was the bad whatever. I don't know what the context of this comment is, but like, I don't want to go and poke someone about it from the video description. That's just left over from the previous. I deleted that from the description of this stream like 4 times, and it kept inserting it back in. So there is just an old timecode thing in the description of this one from I think the Deathsaurus stream or the Reactivate stream. I backspaced those timecodes out 4 times setting up the stream, and every time I look back, they put them back in, so I was like, whatever. Lorcon Nagel, yeah, that is, let me just, if you go to the live tab on my channel, you'll see there's a stream called, RE: an active Transformers box shredding. That was a stream from December 6. That is actually fully time-coded with chapter markings. So, you want to check that out. That happens to be right on the channel where you can see it. There's also a segment of that stream at the start of the Reactivate video review I did, because that was me trying to fit in bits of stream bits into videos for the first time. So, we got stuff. Wait, which one did I pull the description from? Where would a TCG tangent have happened? Oh yeah, it was the Reactivate one. Yeah, that was me talking about the Digimon TCG for a little while, because I had just played it, I think, the first time either that week or a week beforehand. Because a friend of mine gave me the free Imperial Dramon deck, and so I bought, for super cheap, the other Imperial Dramon deck, and I looked at a deck list, which is very hard to do in the Digimon TCG, because no one makes deck lists. They make wallpapers of JPEGs that have numbers over the names of the cards. So it took me a bit, but I put together a basic Imperial Dramon card pool, because the Digimon card game runs pretty well. It also has a breeding zone, which is something that you don't have in a lot of card games. And it's very important to remember to use the breeding zone during the breeding phase. Because if you skip the breeding phase, you are basically letting the game go, right? Chris Muse, I believe I instigated that tirade. I think you're right. If I remember correctly. But we talked about something else, but it was definitely cruxed on I had just played the Digimon TCG. And I was like, this is actually kind of fun. I don't know anything about Digimon. Brian, did you get anything from Extra Life for passing your goal? They're going to send me a gold medal at some point. And I believe I have a little Sick Kids branded power bank coming as well. And I got entered in a draw for something. If I hit 1,500, I would have got a hoodie, which is kind of cool. Okay, you can't... It's important to breed. I mean, it is, I guess. But you can't journalistically ellipses my quotations unless you're using the square brackets. And I think something about YouTube chat actually prevents square brackets from appearing. So intellectual checkmate. But this is reminding me. Do check out the live tab on the channel, because I don't know how VODs get surfaced on YouTube, if at all. And that's where it puts all the VODs. Angelson hoodie. I used to wear a Decepticon hoodie at UVic for like a couple years, and someone thought it was a gang symbol at one point. It was very funny. I nearly bought a starter pack for the Digimon TCG so I could frame a card of Matt for someone I was going out with. Then they dumped me, so I'm glad I didn't get like 50 cards. Yeah, that would have been a bummer. It is true that Ladies Mangelus loves the breeding zone. Wow, 1 minute ago. Alright, apparently you can do the square brackets. So, I guess that's on you? If you're gonna be doing your ellipses journalistically, to make sure you put the square brackets on, Otherwise, I think it's inaccurate as a quotation. Oh well, TCG is dead anyway. Damn, that's brutality. Digimon TCG just got a new set like last week. Look, I know that there's like a lag between the Japanese releases and the North American releases, but they said they're going to shore that up. Also, a new set came out, and someone was like, "You got any singles from that set?" And I'm like, "No, because I don't know if there are any Imperial Dramon singles from that set." Because I have a lot of trouble parsing a lot of the coverage of the Digimon TCG. Because it's very JPEG oriented and a bit loud, and I have to do a lot of digging to like find information that I'm looking for of just like some simple gameplay stuff, or like if a new set comes out, what are the card blocks in that set? Because that's something I notice about that game is generally a new set in Digimon is a bunch of play patterns, a bunch of sequential play patterns that are either new or that are in support of an existing one, and you could just sort of classify a lot of their expansions into those like little bricks. Now, did I just realize I'm describing just about any card game expansion set? Maybe. So here's the other part about Digimon, right? You can say, oh, you need Vmon and Wormmon. They got like 4 of them. So you gotta look for the numerical code to know which one is the good one. That's the part every deck list covers up with a giant number. So they're like, oh, just look at the artwork and remember. I'm like, dog, I don't know what the artwork is from. Give me the code. Give me the numerical code to look for. I've never watched anything from Digimon outside of when I wanted to see what Belphamon looks like, and I inadvertently ended up on a muscle growth fetish channel, because that was one of the 2 clips of Belphamon Rage Mode I found, because that's the other deck I want to run, and I was like, I wonder what Belphamon Rage Mode is like in the cartoon, and it turns out one of his powers is he get muscles, and like, you know, that's something some folks are into. I brought that up when I went to a Digimon card gaming night, and a whole bunch of people went like, oh no, that just happens when you look up Digimon. At least you weren't looking for someone. Apparently there's like some Digimon, if you look them up on YouTube, half the stuff you find is like fetish channels. And I was like, okay, that'll happen. Rookie mistake. This is me wandering in. I'm interested in Digimon for the TCG. And they're like, well, you friggin' get your safe search on, scum. Well, I wasn't looking for a specific clip. I just wanted to know what Belphamon Rage Mode is like, because his card artwork is friggin' sick. And his gameplay style, I was like, that's kind of neat. Is he's like a sleepy demon, and then, like, the demon sleeps indestructibly for, like, a round to build up a horrifying Rage Mode round, and then it falls asleep again. Anyway, there's a lot of Digimon, apparently. They make a lot of Digimon anime. I'm not super interested in, like watching the lore, because I just like the card game mechanics. It's a very interesting card game. But, like, I also don't want to wade in, because I already do that with the Gundam people. And, like, I can deal with that. But if I have the Gundam people and the Digimon people, like, both coming at me for being loudly, blissfully ignorant, like, it's going to be crazy. I saw the clip where he gets that was the clip that was on the muscle growth channel, was getting the dude's face in his chest. And I was like, that's pretty metal. That's like Kamen Rider Blade. That's like Cerberus Undead. Fun fact, Belphamon is based on the Sin of Sloth. Well, that's why that card game character has a whole mechanic about falling. So that deck I thought was interesting, because number one, it's a budget deck aside from the Rage Mode card, which disappeared from Canada the moment I went to look into buying the singles. But that deck is built around, you have the sleepy thing that turns into the rage one, but to build your way up there, you got all these weird Evangelion colored things with mono eyes that like eat each other to like grow new ones. Like it's like this weird like demon cannibalistic deck thing, and I'm like, well, that's pretty metal. Anyway, I'm getting on a time code number TCG tangent. Yeah, Gizmon. That's the thing. I got all the Gizmons, and I got the Eyesmon, which is like the shadow people monster made of eyes. That's also why I didn't want to watch the shows, because I'm like, I like inventing my own canon for a lot of this, because at least once, when I just explain what I think is happening, all the Digimon people, hard word to say, seem pretty entertained and bemused, and I'm like, well, that's good. Oh, there's a bunch of X stuff in the card game. The Digimon card game artwork has a bunch of things that just look like third-party Transformers. And I'm sure you all can probably guess what a bunch of them are when I say that. I can't, but like that's what I see. Like the new set has like a friggin', I don't remember his name anymore, but he's got like, he looks like a third-party Transformer with shoulder cannons. What was the other? The other thing that I never ended up doing is apparently the Beelzemon structure deck is very good. And I read in how it works, and he's the edgy guy with shotguns, and you self-sacrifice your whole deck, and then necromancy your cards out of your graveyard. And it doesn't really use the breeding zone as much. Beelzemon doesn't breed very hard or something. Anyway, I'm going off track. I think this is a good place to start winding down. I'm going to turn the music on, because I'm also getting very hungry. And I have leftover Afghan takeout to have. For those who are curious, I have leftover Afghan takeout from Non Kebab. I got the NK Grill plate. So that's it's a shish kebab, and that's some grilled chicken, and that's some, what's it, tandoori chicken, and a salad over some rice. It's good stuff. Where's my VLC gone? Someday I'm going to get one of those little decks with all the light-up LED screen buttons, so I don't have to, like, click through 50 windows to do anything on here, but, like, those are expensive. Oh, wait, I gotta load something in on the side here before I do this. Alright, now we're set. Here it comes. Anyway, thank you all for coming and hanging out, and being lovely in the viewer box over here. It's always appreciated. On Tuesday, most probably, I think I have a time written down in my phone calendar. If you had a numpad, well, you know. I'm not sure if that's knowing or not. So I'm aiming to start on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, or 7 p.m. Eastern, somewhere in there. Gonna do a little collab stream with TJ Omega from the WTF and TFW podcast, and also ex-Twitter user, and also youtube.com/@. And we're gonna do a little mystery tier list of something Armada related. But I also want to just like start trying to do like or not start trying to do. I want to do it, but I want to try to figure out the setup to do collaborative streams with people that I know who I like talking to. Just as like another fun thing. So that's going to be my first attempt at that, with the idea that we'll do that, you know, at least once or thrice a month or something like that, with various folks. We'll see. I don't commit to anything, but ideally on Tuesday we'll have a fun little collab stream. So come by and hang out for that if you can. If not, there will be a VOD, and I'll probably try to cut a video version of it, just to have like something that shows up in subscription feeds too. But yeah. Till then, I'll catch you later. Stay safe out there, especially if you're, you know, over in the West where everything's frozen. More power. Sleep well, children of flesh. Shh.
shed your cells and follicles with no abandon. I will collect them. I will keep them safe and useful.
Let them come.